Use the yellow thread to hook the capybara's body. Start with 5 braid pins. When you hook it, use the thick end of the crochet hook 2.0 descend. Go around. Then draw the line out. Tie a slip knot. Hook 5 braids. 2, 3, 4, 5. Take a look at the braid front. You can see it very clearly here. It's a bunch of little V's. There are 5 of them. There's a line on the back. Now when we hook it, we're going straight to the side of the braid. The first V doesn't tick. Come to the edge of the second V. Go through the middle. Single pick up a thread on his edge. Hook a short stitch and add a stitch. Wrap the wire and hook it out. Then wind the wire through the coil. This makes the first short stitch. Put a marker on the first pin. Buckle it up. Keep from falling. Another short stitch in the same eye. It's just a short needle and a needle. Next stitch a short stitch. The third stitch is still a short stitch. The last stitch is to hook for short stitches. Two, 3, 4. Hook 6 short needles. Take a look at the other side of the braid. There's a hole here, just made for short stitches. A hole was opened. There's a line on the side of the hole that connects this half. In both sides of this half, there's a hole in the front of this line. That's where the other half of the needle goes. Put it on and have a look. It's got 2 threads. Not the same. It's the side of the braid. Put the back end of the thread on the crochet hook once it's in. Hide the end of the line a little bit. Draw out our hand. Then make another short stitch in the next stitch. It's always the lines down here. The last stitch is to hook a short stitch plus a stitch. The last stitch has to hold it open. It's hard to find a little ahead of the knot. Hook a short pin. Add a needle and put it through a pinhole. Hook 2 short pins. After hook, just take the opening button off here. Thread the crochet needle into the thread where the mark was made. It's his first shot. You have to go through an entire eye. This line at the back, I'm just going to put it aside. Make a full circle. It's about to draw with the first needle. 让它首尾能连接到一起. The lead is after the hook. Go through all the coils on the needle. Bring the thread out. End and end together. After drawing, pull the drawing needle tight. This little V behind the circle above the needle, it's the drawing needle. You don't need to draw the needle, so pull it small. Pull it down and hook a standing pin. Hook it and pull down the rise pin. And then crochet it up. I can pull one of the needles in front of me tight. It's pretty obvious. A lead and a standing pin. It's been pulled very small. A normal stitch is a big one like this. Now look at the second circle. The second round is 6 sets of 1 short stitch and 1 extra stitch. We've already hidden this thread for a while, now we don't have to hide it. Make another loop to cut it off. On the next loop, start with the stitch you just pulled. Here's the needle he pulled. Just thread the thread into the stitch. Hook a short pin. Hook up the first short pin. Fasten the marker button. One short stitch is followed by one extra stitch. Short stitch plus stitch is the short stitches and one stitch. The letter is a V. It's just a short needle and a needle. One short and one plus make a group. A circle down to hook 6 groups a short 1 plus. The next stitch is a short one. After hook, thread in the last stitch. Distance from the front, we hook the mark buckle in the middle of this pin. There are also 2 small needles. It's the little needle that's drawn in the first circle. There are also standing needles. We've already made it very small. These 2 stitches are skipped without the hook. After you hook the 6th set of stitches, I came to the first needle. Put it end to end. After drawing, pull the drawing needle down. Next up is the third round of 6 short and short stitches. 1 short needle, 1 plus 1 short needle in a group. The first stitch is still in the one that was drawn. Hook up local loops in the first pin-pull connection. Pull the needle to tighten the drawing needle. Stand up and pull tight. The line change is about to start on lap 4. First check the 2 groups of 3 short 1 plus 3 short switch. Hook 1 plus 2 short stitches. Switch back to the yellow line. This is the coffee color of his capybara mouth. Check the sets of 3 short and 1 plus. At the beginning of each loop, it's always the first stitch in the one that's drawn. The first short pin mark. Two, 3. 3 short stitches and 1 extra. 2. This is the first group. Add 3 short stitches. 1, 2, 3. The third short needle here just pulls the thread out and doesn't need to be drawn. Take it out and change the wire to take it. Take out the coffee-colored thread. Put the thread in the back there on the back. Hold down both wires at the back. Hold down the yellow wire as well. Coffee-colored wire through the coil. After bringing it here, make a short stitch in the next stitch. Put the needle through first. Put both of the back stitches on the crochet hook and press. Bring a line. Hook to short pins. It's just a short needle and a needle. Then use this coffee-colored thread to hook to short stitches. This line can be pressed all the way down. Just hook the coil out. Don't take the line. Put the thread in the back. Then replace it with a yellow thread. Bring out the yellow thread. Thread the next stitch. Wear it with a coffee tint on the back. No need to add coffee-colored thread. Put this long coffee-colored thread on the crochet hook and press a stitch. Just press one stitch of the thread. Then check to set the 3 short 1 plus. That'll finish the 4th lap. To connect with the first pin draw, pull the drop in tight. Hook a standing pin. This line at the back is ready to be cut. This is the end of the original yellow line. Use the thick end of the hook. Next comes lap 5. Look at the 5到6 circles that are hooked 13 short pins. Change wire, hook 4 short pins. Then switch back and hook 13 short pins. There are 30 needles. Finish the 5 or 6 loops. The first stitch begins. Take 1 for a mark. 13 short needles. I've already ticked 1 off here. Check again and that's the second one. The 13th is to bring the thread out without winding it. Go and wind this coffee-colored thread again. You can cut off the end of the coffee-colored thread in the back. Put the coffee string on your hand. Push back. Make sure you keep this one loose when you press it. Don't be so tight. Pay attention to the two ends at the back when you hook the short needle. There's a coil here, and the end of the yellow wire. Put it all on the crochet hook. Pull and press the needle. Keep the sides from running away. The fourth one is pulls the thread over without winding it. Wrap the yellow thread. Don't be so tight. Just give him a little bit of room to bring the line. Take the thread and then thread it through the next stitch. The yellow thread goes all the way up to 13 short stitches. Hook all 13 and the first pin draws the connection. The sixth circle also hooks 13 short pins to the change line here. The 13th man brings the wire without winding it. Leave a little bit of room behind the coffee line here. Into the next stitch. Take the two threads to the crochet hook and pull them tight. Then take it to the crochet hook and give it a stitch. Wrap the wire around it. The next stitch does not press the line. Put it on the crochet hook and press it. Let's see, both lines have to go up. Shisan stitch finish and first stitch draw. If you forget to make a marker, it can be behind the last stitch. Count to small needles. It's the lead up from the last lap. These two stitches are not hooked. Go straight to the first stitch. Next comes the 7th lap. Hook a reducer at the beginning of qi turns. Make 11 short stitches. Change the wire 11 short stitches, 1 reduction stitch. Put the reducer right here on the back of his head. Subtract the first stitch. I picked the same needle that I pulled. Pick only half the needle. Pick half of the next stitch. So pick half of both stitches. Wind the thread through the first two coils on the needle. Then wrap the wire and hook it out. Make a marker here. If you buckle it up, it won't fall off easily. This stitch of the mark is its first stitch. First pin on lap 7. This is the stitch we just reduced. After you hook the reducer, then hook 11 short needles into the mouth. 1, 11. Take it off. Change coffee color ribbon without wire. Now turn it upside down to face out. Get the coffee cord and leave some room in the back. It's just not that tight. Just loosen it up a little bit and come around. After winding the thread, thread it into the next stitch. Pull the coffee wire in the yellow wire tight. Tie it to a crochet hook. Yellow wire. Leave a little bit of tape behind the yellow line as well. The next stitch goes through. The first short needle of the yellow thread, shimi or hooks. Now there are 2 more stitches in front of you. Hook a reducer. Lift only half of the needle. In the 8th circle, first hook the extra pins of 3 medium and long pins. Wrap the thread around the needle. The first pin is still in the drawn position. Pull it over and now there are 3 coils on the needle. Pick it loose. The wire is wound through 3 coils on the needle at once. This is a medium length needle. Hook another medium length needle into the same eye. It's just a medium needle plus a needle. This is a set of plus stitches. There are 2 remaining. After the hook is finished, draw a reducer. Pick up the next shot. One reducer, 7 short needles. The 7th did not pull the thread out. Put on some coffee-colored thread. Pull the yellow wire in the coffee wire tight. Put it on a crochet hook and press it. Then put it aside. Count 7 short stitches. After 7, hook a reducer. Three medium and long needles plus a needle. After the hook is done and the first needle is drawn and pull tight. Turn 9, the first medium length hook is on and the marker is on. Wait a minute to find the first shot. Then twist the thread and hook another one out of the eye. This is a medium long needle plus a needle. Next is a reducer. The end of the reducer hook is 11 short stitches. There's no need to change the wire for the circle. Check 22 of them. Hook a reducer. Hook semi-medium and long pins plus pins. After the hook is finished, the mark is removed and the first needle is drawn. Round 是 semi-medium and long plus pins. Lengthen the coil here. Leave a short cut of the coffee thread. Thread the line and continue to hook. 3 medium and long needles plus a needle. One reducer. Take it out to both sides. Next are 9 short stitches. Nine short stitches are followed by 4 reduced stitches. Well after 9 short stitches. Then 1 reducer and 3 medium length stitches. After hook. Then the first needle draws. Next is the sheath round with semi-medium long needles and sheath short needles added. Buckle the mark. Otherwise, it's not easy to find the first shot after turning around and looking for it.